Hello everyone, Attack Power here with Game 2 between Kurz and Mimile in the Steel Division 2 Season 10 League. Let's dive right in. So here we are, folks. We're on Tsel, the forestest, most foresty map in the game. And on the right here in the red, we have Kurz playing 43rd Reserve Army on the Vanguard income. And on the left here in the blue, we have Mimile playing 4th Alpine Monterosa, also on Vanguard income. So this should definitely be an interesting game. 4th Alpine, not a strong division on many maps, but this one is definitely one it can really shine. Using its incredibly strong CQC units, I would probably say the strongest one in the game, pretty close to the Pionieri, which is just, it's just disgusting how good this thing is. A flamer and a grenade together. We do not see that on any other unit in the game, I don't believe. 43rd Reserve, I don't actually love this pick for this map. A lot of people think like, oh, it's super good because you do have some good CQC units. You got Sturmoviki Rocks, Sapperty Rocks, excuse me. You got the Avto Strafniki. You have good CQC units and a lot of Sapperty, but they don't, I just don't actually think they have enough numbers to really fight in the forest well. Especially against things like Pionieri, but that's just my opinion. We'll see how it turns out though. It's a strong division, but you're losing one of its stronger assets, which is its long range tanks and stuff, the medium and heavy armor. You're losing out on that here on Tsel. But zooming into Mimile up here, he's got some Alpine recruits, which are the disheartened infantry. We have some flamers, some Alpini, which are just the normal ones. More recruits. We have a Semovente here, which is like a light tank with the light Breda gun. Some L335s are just like some machine gun cars, like 10-point light tanks technically, but they're just machine guns. And then we have some auto blindas, which are any sort of auto cannon armor car there, SPW. And then going into the middle here, we have some flamers, a heavy machine gun, Pionieri, Alpini, leaders, some recruits, Recluta, that's what I guess to say. Alpini, Bersaglieri, which is a recon unit, more Semoventes, some auto blindas again, more recruits and another auto blinda. And then down south we have Alpini, Alpini recruit, Pionieris, Alpini leader, and some more L335s. Hopping over to Mimile down south, we have SG-43 heavy machine gun, T-3476, BA-10, and Strafniki officers along with the Cherno Pizza Niki. And then we have two Maxim and an M42 going into the center here. That's 45mm AT gun. And then going into the actual center, we have T-3485, BA-10, some Strafniki officers, the CQC versions. Sapperty Rock, Sapperis, more officers with the CQC. Tanko Desaniki in the M2A1 half-track. A Visivod leader, artillery leader. I think it's artillery leader, I believe. And then it is a leader. I just don't know if it's the artillery one. And the KV-1 S Komroti and a Sapperty Rocks. And all the way up north, a Maxim and an M42. So this should definitely be interesting. Both players on mirror income here. And we have a 172mm off-map in right away here for Mimile. This dude loves his cheese. Not going to lie. He's a big cheese lover. Loves starting the game off with some sort of cheesy thing. And a first immediate moment off-map is an example of that cheese thing. We'll see what he does with that. I assume he's going to drop it here on the hill to force Kurz off of it, because it's very reasonable for the red team to get into this forest here and capture this flag at the beginning of the game. And the tough thing is that's one of the only flags red can really get to at the beginning. Blue has a much easier time capturing flags because they're much closer to the edge. Like this flag is really close to the for red to capture. Or is it, do I have it backwards? No, for blue, sorry. Blue, like Mimile has captured this flag. It's a red flag. We have all of these units. Very few are going here. Just one, it looks like. Off map going on this flag target instead. It just really depends on if these transports get out or not. It's really what it comes down to. LA7 was coming to get it. SG-43 pinning down some troops. Alpini are really mediocre infantry. They're only 20 points, so I mean, you're not overspending on them, but they are extremely mediocre. But they do have an MG42 and a Beretta. So, the weapons they have, the two, like the long range and the close range guns, are both solid. BA-10 got to get in here to try to kill off some of these auto blindas as they move through. These infantry did dodge the off map, though. That's pretty big. BA-10 might go down to this if he doesn't move it. Auto blinda, one of them's not a recon, so it will affect the front line. So he should be able to find them here at the beginning. SG-43, T-34, 76, and BA-10 in. They should easily be able to clean up this L335. Especially since Mimile didn't really notice it. So down he goes. Mimile with an early 13-11. Cherno's coming in to grab this flag. KV-1S moving in as well. Infantry are in with the leader and stuff. Autoblinda here, though. The Strafniki really need to move over here to try to drop that. Oh, but the T-3485 is going to do it for him. L335s and the Semovente here poking around, but they will be no match for the T-3485. Down south, we have major fighting happening. Strafniki officers, though, much stronger than these Alpinis and stuff. But the Pianiti, once they get in, there's a lot of trouble. Although this Strafniki officer did catch one out, so he's going to have to take some time to get in. But the other one's going to get there, and that's really dangerous. Especially because he doesn't actually have any CQC infantry here. And these Pianitis, with 4 Berettas, a flame, and a grenade, are absolutely disgusting. M2A1 pinning down some true Strafniki officers, trying to get into range. They unfortunately only have 100-meter range. Despite having 15 submachine guns, they're not Berettas or anything, or Swomies, which give them 150 millimeter. Up north, Mimile grabbing this flag. That's a nice grab there for him. Tons of reinforcements coming in north. Cherno's coming in to grab this flag. Should bring it back to 12-12 momentarily. Ju-87 did take out the T-34-76 that was down south here, so a bad loss there. Yak trying to kill at 9B here. Unfortunately, the LA-7 is currently out of the fight. We do have a 20 mil, a Cannonone, which is better than a flak, really, at the end of the day. It does have AP shells for that simple reason. It's better, you know. Yak 9B, can it get on the back of this Ju-87? It's not going to, and every time it circles around here, it's getting hit by that 20 mil. Oh, Ju-87 takes out that KV-1. Oh, that's a big loss. So now it's already killed 2 things. These Ju-87's absolutely pivotal for 6th Alpine for killing off tanks. It doesn't have a lot of AT, especially not heavier AT. Yak does finally take that out, so that's a huge kill. I think it was worth it. For positioning, definitely. The Strafniki officer already absolutely just decimated by these Pianiti. It got deleted. Absolutely deleted. The Alpine recruits are bad, but they're only 15 points, so they're definitely a lot better than, say, an Erzatz. Yak 9B coming in. What's he going for? He's going for the Autoblindas? Interesting. It's going to go down to this 20 mil. These things do put out some nice damage, and he's been flying around a long time. I don't think he's making it. Wow. Very lucky, but here comes a Spadaviero. I'm sorry. Spadaviero. There we go. Spadaviero. Big bomb loadout. Gonna do a lot of damage to these infantry here. Oh, actually dropped him way back, hitting the leader instead. Sapody do go down, though, to the Autoblinda. T-3045 really needs to get on top of this hill to kill some stuff, but there is a 75 mil here. So Mimile cheekily grabbing a lot of flags here. Pianiti have no strength at range with just 6 rifles, so these Strafniki officers should be able to crush them, but Cherno's Tanko's coming in. He kind of needs more CQC. He's not going to be able to force these Pianiti out with just those troops there. He has recaptured this northern flag. L335 here in such an annoying spot, just dodging the BA-10. And Kurz has not noticed yet. Big bulge here from this random recruit. Strafniki officers, no match for the Pianiti. These guys are just absolutely insane. He's going to try to get across this little yellow patch of cover here. He gets caught. No, the Tankos are caught. And the issue is because of the Berettas fire 150, he can shoot at these without them getting shot back. We're back to a 12-12. Autoblinda's pushing forward here, and there's nothing here to actually kill those Strafniki officers. T-3476 coming in. Up north, the L335 did go down. Strafniki can definitely beat the Alpini. Oh, off map. Ugh. Now, triple star Strafniki should do pretty well, but again, that combo. Grenade down, Flamer kept him moving, and he's dead. He's just deleted. Off map goes down to the LA-7, nice kill there, but I think it only had 2 shots anyway. That was such a great demonstration how strong these guys are, because these are big units. 15-man squad with 15 submachine guns, and they just got deleted. Like, absolutely insta-killed. Now, the double of them easily wiped them out now, but still, that's insane. It's absolutely insane. Tankos versus Pianiti. With the support of the other units, they are able to overwhelm them. These P90 in a terrible spot. They should have just been buried in the forest here. Then Kurz would have had to come after them. But Kurz making forward progress here. But now we have some P2640s, which are like the medium tank for... It's 6th Alpine's medium tank, essentially. A solid unit. For 45 points, you get a half-decent gun at 90mm penetration. Okay HE damage, 75mm of armor. They're pretty slow. They're not amazing, but they're only 45 points. There's not really getting around that. But the thing is, the KV-1, they're going to have a really hard time penning it. They shouldn't be able to at all, but they will. Like, again, we've talked about this before in other casts. It will happen. Like, penetrations will still occur, despite the armor being different, like, not enough. Off-map did come down, pinned down a bunch of units, but did not kill anything. T-3485 still standing strong here. He really needs this to clean up all these auto-blindas. He cannot move forward until they're dead. T-3476 is all over the place. He lost this flag, though, although he finally spotted out this Semovente here. And the auto-blinda, he really needs to kill this thing. Like, desperately. Ugh. Does kill the auto-blinda. Semovente now on target, though. At this range, he might actually pen him. He did. And he goes down. He does trade, but that's not a good trade for Kurz. Those Semoventes, I don't even know what they cost. Like nothing. 25 points? Yeah, that's not a good trade at all. And now, Mimile pushing over here as well. 45 mil, though, catching out this Auto Pretota. Apologies for the pronunciation. I'm just reading on the spot here. Sapri versus Flamer up here. Sapri should win, well, especially with the support of these guys. 12-12 again, but Kurz down a whole bunch of points here. And remember, when you're in the mirror income, even losing just a bit of points here, but flag points here and there really matters. Here comes the Spaviero again. Although this is 12 50-kilogram bombs. I do not like this loadout. This is the bad one. This is not good. The problem is the bombs are too spread out to really do a lot of damage. Let's see if it even does kill this unit, finally crushes this bulge here. Will it kill this 45? Oh no, he missed altogether. Maxim trying to pin down these infantry would double them. They're going to have a little bit of trouble there. ME-410 floating around recon. Tons of infantry now here, though. But I don't see what we're missing here at Pianiti. There's 1, 2. Okay, so we have 2 coming in now. These recruiti are not very good at CQC, or anything for that matter. So the Strafniki officers should do okay as long as they're positioned correctly, although they're not really positioned super well. These infantry getting caught out by this machine gun, finally dead from the T-34-76. BA-10 hopping around there. So much action going on here. This is the Ariete. This is a much better plane. It's medium resilience, nice bomb loadout. So the 45 mil is dead from that. So that's a good one. Down south, Kurz still making progress. Kind of held up here, though. He doesn't really have the true armor concentration to beat through this. Now, the KV-1 did die. From what I cannot be sure. Like I said, one of these P-26s probably did penetrate at some point and took it down. Arietta takes a lot of damage here from the LA-7, but is going to probably get out. Maxim did successfully hold off all these infantry, so kudos to that. ME-410 still floating around. Infantry just wrecked through. This leader here probably going to die. No, almost definitely going to die. I didn't notice what unit was fighting until just now. So definite death there. Just a pile of troops pushing forward here. And there's not much to stop them. 2 SG-43s, which could definitely be killed by these autocars. And we have a bunch of Chernos and a Strafniki just kind of marching forward here. Little odd. Here too. So Kurz in like these packs of troops. We saw this in game 1 as well, where he just kind of bunched them up and pushed them forward. T-30-45 backing up so it doesn't get killed by an AT weapon. SG-43 should do pretty well locking this down. ME-410s and such flying uncontested. We finally see an 85 mil. The only AA that 43rd Reserve has is the 85 mil. Strafniki officer taking a lot of damage from that 20 mil. Oh my goodness, it's just eating it up. 45 mil trying to take out the P-26. Does get a loader knockout, but it is not penning very well. It gets a shooter knockout now. Shooter killed. I was just getting all the freaking pens. This thing will never fire again. Although from this point, it probably won't. Oh, but it turned. P-26 goes down. Nice kill there. All kinds of planes coming in. Yeah, I'll be honest. I used to be a pretty big fan of 43rd Reserve. I am not so much anymore. I have really started to turn off to this division. The weaknesses of 43rd, to me, really kind of outweigh its strengths. It only has 85 mils for AA, and those are not very good. Like 45 mils are not very good, and that's all you get. And it has no artillery whatsoever. It has a couple mortars. That's it. Like there is nothing else, which is obviously bad, like very bad. And I just don't. Its infantry are really expensive because they're really good, but they're very expensive. I mean, this is a 35-point unit right here, and I actually just don't find the Strafniki to do that much damage. It's different than like when I play with Fallschirmjägers that are 40 points. You know, they absolutely decimate anything they come up against. Strafniki don't do that. DPs are just not as strong. Kurz capturing this flag down south. It's got great armor, but again, I just don't find its weaknesses are worth. I don't find its strengths are worth the significant weaknesses that it has. Tanko's getting caught out here, gonna get absolutely decimated. Oh. Kurz did manage to recapture this flag here. There's a lot coming up against him. And again, both players are in the mirror income, so we are now ticked down to 125 points a tick. T-34-85 in now. This should definitely hold these things off. 85 mil drops the ball, missing completely. There it goes. LA-7 does take down the Sparviero, so really nice. LA-7s are a very good fighter, actually. Not a super strong loadout, but they're fast. Not overly fast, but very fast. And they have extremely good turning radius. They just turn so tight, and they also have medium resilience, which is huge. I've talked many times about how important medium resilience is. Mimile creating a big bulge here. This is dangerous for Kurz. He's got nothing there. He's got some troops going in, but he's got nothing. It's definitely nothing to stop something like that. I mean, it's just a gigablob of troops here. Kurz holding his progress down south successfully. Needs to kill this 20 mil. There he goes. Finally gets that killed off. That's a nice kill there. Saperty being pressured out. The other issue with 43rd Reserve, they don't really have a lot of long-range infantry. They just don't. They have the Strafniki officers, and that's it. Everything else is Saperty, Flamers, the submachine gun units, Tankos, you know, really solid CQC, but they have no range options. And for me personally, that's a deal breaker. It really sucks when you have no long-range infantry to work with. And again, Strafniki officers are great, but you don't get a ton of them. It's very run-outable. These guys are not in cover. That's a bad micro mistake there by Kurz. P-26 is going to come in and ruin their whole day. It does look like he might be out of T-34-76s. We're not really seeing them anymore because now Su-85s are coming in. Truthfully, Kurz might be running out of armor. He's called in a lot of T-34-85s and such already. And T-34-76s. Oh, T-34 drops the ball, misses completely. Double P-26 should win. 14-10 from Mimile still continues to tick down Kurz. And again, I talked about earlier in these mirror matches, losing points is a big deal. Now we see the M1542s coming in with their Breda super fast firing guns here. Oh, these are not the Bredas. I'm sorry, I was clicking on the wrong unit. There must be another one mixed in here. Oh, the 41s. The M1441 has the Breda, like, 47 mil gun. The M15 has this nice MS gun, 70 millimeters of penetration, but it fires a lot slow. Oh, no, this one is slow. Interesting. It looks, the pictures are the same. My apologies. Not the same gun. Slower firing, not as good. But they're only 15 and 20 points, respectively, so a lot of armor coming in. With just the dinky T-34s there to stop them, it's going to be rough. Saperty pushing right in, doesn't give a rip. Whole bunch of Su-85s, which are terrible for shooting infantry because they have no machine guns. Peonita taken out. That's a nice kill. He needs that badly. Peonita, again, just super dangerous. Tankos are going to get wiped out before they ever get in range because of the 150... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, look at the Tankos just going down here to those Berettas. Oh, my God. So freaking good. Strafniki officer taking on the world here. Not a great plan. Here comes the Air Force. Is there any 85 mils to stop it? We have this one over here that is taking some shots. The other one does stop the Sparviero. That's a big stop there. Will they stop the Ariete? It does. Very good. Very good there. Double Saperty should be able to beat the Peonita at range, most definitely. So Kurz finally breaking down these infantry. Oh, he's going to lose at a Yak 9B. That's going to be a big loss. These bombers are really going to use it way too aggressively as a fighter. There's a lot of 20 mil cannons around. He's going to go down here any second. There he goes. So big loss there for Kurz air-wise. Mimile's still on the 1410, though Kurz looks like he is making some progress now. M14 starting to die off here to this T-34-76. Can they take it out? Nope. Gets a driver knockout, so T-34 is not going anywhere for a while. Will it pen? Nope. Bounces. Down goes another M14. LA-7 coming in now for... I can't imagine. Oh, to cover the Yak. Yak does get its clusters off and does take out 2 of those M14s. I don't think that was worth it, per se. Yak 9B being like a 140-point unit, like, that's a lot. You could have just called a T-34-85 and it stopped the whole thing, although he might not have any more. That is a very realistic chance. We're seeing the development here of what it is when you have 35 and 30-point units versus 20-point units. So despite the Alpine sucking, when you can call in 2 of them for every one of your opponent's units, it is very easy to overwhelm them. Pianity being 30 points themselves, but each one of them worth, oh God, at least 2 squads of Kurz. Still 14-10 for Mimile. Another pile of M14s coming in. Obnoxious spam. I'm not hating on it. It just looks stupid and I don't like it. 90 mil cannon coming in. This is very strong, both in the AA role and the AT role, which he probably needs it more for the AT role at this point. Sappery pushing into the forest here should be able to mop these troops up, as long as something doesn't come help it out. And again, it looks like it appears that Kurz is out of Strafniki and is now relying on Sappery. Now, Sappery are solid infantry, don't get me wrong, but they're a single machine gun unit. They do have semi-automatic rifles, which is nice. P-26 goes down to the grenade, so really good kill there from the Sappery. It's kind of lucky. Now we see the radio mortars of Mimile. Mimile not really taking advantage of 6th Alpine's really strong light artillery, excuse me. Arietta forced back without shooting. Sappery caught out in the open, and this would be one of those things I mentioned that could stop this. So here's the 90 mil cannon. This thing is a beastly weapon here. Nice 170 millimeters of penetration. Bullets have a 20 rate of fire on planes, so that's really, really good. Mimile's still 13-11 with this flag here. Again, this map is, in my opinion, I've actually come to like this map, like play-wise. In terms of fairness-wise, is bull because the blue side can much more easily capture 2 or 3 flags, while red has to cut really deep to find its first flag. Kurz has successfully captured the flag down south, but another Arietta coming in here is going to ruin his day. His troops are very bunched up. And here it goes. Ew. Oh. Lost a Strafniki officer. That's a devastating loss. .85 mils way too far back. 81 mil mortar it was trying to take out the 85. T-30-45 is dodging that 81 mil mortar. Radio mortars are very strong, even for killing tanks. If they sit still, they will die. Those Sappery got wiped out. Didn't even, barely even touch the Pianeti. Now stand basically no chance one-on-one. Gosh, Pianeti are so good. I forget how good those units are until I see them in play. They are disgusting. They are the best CQC unit in the game. Right up there next to probably Yakari, really strong. The Gruppa Sakchisti out of 352nd, they're also extremely strong. Maybe the double Brandenburg Pio or some unit out of Rosselsprung. They have a lot of good CQC units. But yeah, I don't think much of that stacks up anyway to the Pianeti. T-30-45 still alive, so it's managed to stay with the living here. T-30-45 finally spots out that M14. M14, no chance there. SU-122, kind of an odd call-in, not gonna lie. Sappery pushing forward, though. Down south, he's lost the flag, though. Kurz has lost that flag. Mimile's still in a good spot here. We're now into phase C, both players down to 90 points, so developing big pushes and stuff will become far more challenging. 90 mil now in, and it's plenty to force off that Yak 9B. LA7 taking a lot of damage, needs to get out of there quick. There's now 220 mil recon cars on the hill. These being nice, very strong units, usually called in at the beginning, but looks like they're called in here towards the end. 85 mil getting hit by the 81 mil mortar. He's got to be careful, he loses those, he's got no AA. And the air force of Mimile is already quite large and strong. SU-122, Heat Shell takes out that M14. Very nice kill there. He's only got 5 more, though, and versus like 20 of these M14s, it might be rough. And he's only got 70 millimeters of armor himself, so he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Another issue again for 43rd Reserve, not much AT on their infantry, which means these stupid little light tanks can do a lot of damage when you're unsupported. T-34-85 trying to get in there to stem the tide of the M14s. The M14s can do absolutely nothing against them. Here comes the Arietta again. And 85 mil in the center would probably do a lot of good. ME-410 in first. Does get retargeted, or at least it retargeted itself to the Arietta. Will it stop it? It does not. Is this 3 going to go down there? Boop. Down it goes. Sapri pinned down. We lost the leader there. Kurz was not on his retreat button, Micro. Peonity getting caught out here. Not what he wants. 45 mil might actually pin it before it can kill him. T-34-85. Old brick wall. Though this Panzerschreck gonna ruin the day here. Ooh, well, save the day for Mimile. Ruin the day for Kurz. More Arietta's coming in. Oh, no. Oh, no. Arietta going for the kill on the 85. Misses. I'm not sure how it missed. I see no LA7 coming in or anything to stop this, so it might actually get a second run. 85 mil getting smoked off, so it can't fire in certain directions. T-34-85 here now, along with SU-85. What's the armor on this thing? Quite low. So this can definitely kill, even with 65 millimeters penetration. But the SU-85 actually lands a hit. So a lot of the light armor being killed off, but the problem is he still doesn't really have a way to kill the infantry. Kurz grabbing this flag on the hill, though. Very nice. His Sapri broken down here with the T-34-85 out of the way. Not much to stop these infantry. Just an overwhelming pile of Italian infantry coming. All the M14s are dead, but there is this Pac 40 here still. Pac 40, of course, 100% capable of killing any of these tanks. Sapri caught out. Kurz seems really slow on the retreat button here today. The fallback button, I guess, technically. And I see no reinforcements coming in. Blob into the center here. 13-11, and Kurz, he's got 25 minutes remaining, and he's got a long way to go. Only 15 minutes left on his actual timer, but even if he wants to get back into this, like, to win, he's got to have more points by the end of the game, which means he's got to bring it back to a 12-12 soon to stop the bleed, and then find a 13-11 somewhere, which, again, on his side of the map is a tall order. Sapri versus Peonity at this range, gonna die because the Berettas are absolutely insane. And especially with the help of the Alpine. Another Alpine pushing in to try to grab this flag here. Cherno should be close enough to contest. We will find out. Down south, the infantry have been completely broken down. We do have an SU-152 coming in. That should do some good work. But he does need some infantry, or like a machine gun or something to stop this. There's a lot of infantry coming. Lost his flag on the hill here. Unfortunate for Kurz. Kurz severely on the back foot here. Still has time to pull it back together and pull it in. More M15s coming in. I have to imagine Mimile is starting to run low on these, but maybe not. I forget what the card gets. Probably like at least in the high teens, 18, maybe even in the 20s in numbers. T-34-85 moving in. Oh, and there's that SU-152. That's this 3 probably still going to die from the onslaught of MG-42s. Kurz needs to retreat. Once again, slow on the retreat button. Not reacting at all. Boom. No, Zister's gonna die. I don't really think it needed to either. Double 85 mil finally in, so this should be able to stop these planes, I would think. Oh, especially because Mimile is kind of just flying them around randomly. So some infantry do die there, but the Panzerschreck is sneaking by. The Flamer, though, will not beat that. Well, the Tanko does not have napalm, so maybe it will, actually. Panzerschreck can 100% get in range of that. Sapperty coming in. Do unload, though, so they might be able to stop the Panzerschreck before they can do the damage. In the center, a push back here. Not supported well enough by this armor out of Kurz. Not a good application combined arms here. You got these infantry, just tanks just sitting here, not shooting anything, which is not good. So the Flamer did die. Tanko doesn't know that Panzerschreck is there, of course. So down south, we finally see the armor doing what it needs to do. And this is probably what Kurz needed to be doing more throughout the entire game. It appeared like he just decided to, like, go pound for pound with CQC infantry against Mimile, and that did not work out. Panzerschreck takes out the Su-85. Infantry are all pushed back. The tanks were just late to the party. It's like Kurz moved the infantry forward and went to do something else and completely forgot to move the important part of his attack forward. Panzerschreck now is probably going to finish off this second T-34-85. It's going to be devastating loss. Mimile is still sitting on that 1410. It's ticked down to only 11 minutes left for Kurz. And if Mimile picks up a double tick anywhere, that's going to be really hard to come back from. T-34-85 does pick off some Alpine in the transport, so nice kill there. Not huge, it's 20 points, but it's 20 points you didn't have to fight. 81 mil mortar continue to try to take out that 85 mil. He's changed targets a couple times. Piernati finally go down. Here comes the Panzerschreck, though. T-34-85 facing the wrong direction. I have legitimately no idea what it's doing. And this Panzerschreck's going to get a nice rear shot on that. You got a rocket right up the butt. Down it goes, so not really clean, but what? Now why? Why is he doing this? My goodness. There's no AT here to, like, force him off the road, so I don't know why he's going 3 inches from the stinking woods there. Infantry pinned down again. Again, Sapperty, solid units, but not the, I don't think they're the unit you want to hold down your entire line. Because if you take off the TNT, they're just slightly upgraded riflemen. Oh, and there we go. We see Kurz throw in the towel. 29 minutes and 25 seconds. Yeah, he really had no way back into that game. 2,215 for Kurz to 2,505 kills for Mimile. So Mimile out trading him, bringing their match to a 1-1 in terms of Kurz winning game 1 and Mimile winning game 2. And remember, this is just the best of 2, just for points. So this will be it for these two players for their match. Congratulations to both of them for pulling out a game here. That was quite a grind. LA7 taking down some planes, so that's pretty good. Tanko's doing nice work. T-34-76s, Su-85. Look at that thing. I mean, it's mostly these stupid M14s. So, yeah, I just don't think that Kurz made good enough use of his armor in combined arms there, which is odd to say on Tsel because obviously it's a very infantry-heavy map. But the advantage that Kurz had was his armor. I mean, that's what his advantage was with 43rd. And I don't feel like he was using it well enough to win that game for himself. And he took a long time to call an AA. I know the 85 mil is not great, but having it's better than having nothing at all. Pianiti doing a lot of damage, as they always do. The Arietta, very good fighter bomber, doing some great work there too. Wow, that Alpine did some nice kills. That's about it, though. Again, none of the units in 6th were really strong. We didn't see any of their light artillery. 6th Alpine having incredible light Italian artillery. It's super fast firing with radio, but he didn't use a lick of it, which is quite surprising. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and consider supporting over on Patreon. Thanks a bunch, and have a fantastic day.